Good evening. The Sacred Heart of Sophia is under siege tonight, not by war, but by a plague of its own making. A mysterious illness, dubbed Mad Vamp Syndrome, is sweeping through the population, threatening to upend a millennia-old religious tradition and sparking widespread unrest. Our field reporter Rachel Akibwe is on the ground with the latest. Rachel, what can you tell us about this Mad Vamp Syndrome?
The contagion has been linked to the consumption of blood-based dishes, a sacred act in Sophia. Investigations have traced the contamination to the Ballos Conglomerate, a league of independent blood farmers on flying landmasses. This has exposed a critical vulnerability: the nation's reliance on an unregulated industry for a spiritual lifeline. The princes have temporarily suspended all Ballos operations, but the crisis has already ignited public fury and is forcing the Hamian priesthood to consider a fundamental shift in their religious doctrine.
Thank you, Rachel. Read the full story at Kenomitian Universe News.
Good evening, loyal citizens of Kenoma. This is Kenomian Universe News. Disturbing reports are emerging from the Kyrian Critarchy. Official channels speak of anomalous outbreaks, but rumors point to something older and more sinister. Based on the investigation of Merrick Zahn, whom we'll be contacting live from Zion Kyrios.
Merrick, what is really happening out there, and why are so many denying it?
Thank you, Stephen. Here in Zion, the air itself feels heavy. The so-called authorities mocked those who looked beyond the mundane, but facts are catching up.
This is not rogue biology or fickle weather. It's a sign. Texts from the pneumatic era and outlawed testimonies converge. The veil is thinning, and a primordial swarm is breaching our plane. All threads point to a single entity, Abaddon, the man-locust. This is not mutation, it is cosmic will. Chronicles describe a seven-headed locust husk with emerald eyes. Within, a palace of false delights, peopled by creatures wearing children's skin as finery. His Mazakin avatars aren't mere insects. They consume flesh and siphon organ, leaving whole blocks silent.
Why the Critarchy? Their faith in the emissaries of the ineffable and their geopolitical reach make them both target and hinge.
Extra-dimensional colonies, Jedediah, Abizabuth, Cocytus, report distortions, failed harvests, blackened skies, corrupted ecosystems. These are not isolated events. They form a pattern of consumption and desecration.
My message is plain. Do not sleep. If the blood-red twilight of Yaldabaoth already stains your horizon, take it as an alarm.
Shield your cities, circulate this report, and fortify the spirit. The king of the flesh-eating locusts is at the gate. Zion may be next.
In our top stories tonight, a spiritual crisis that could redefine the very nature of life and death in Ariath. A new report reveals that the dead are no longer resting. Their unresolved stories are haunting the living, and the very fabric of our reality may be at risk. Our reporter George Crowley is in Promesal with more on the Shades in Stasis report. George, what can you tell us about this disturbing rise in hauntings?
The Kenomitian cycle of reincarnation is failing, and trapped spirits, known as ghosts, are creating reality-warping echoes. Karcists and necromancers are working tirelessly to release these souls, but their efforts are being complicated by a new political conflict. While some factions call for sacred rituals, others are lobbying to commodify exorcism services and harvest ectoplasm. The city's leaders are now locked in a debate over whether to treat this as a moral crisis or a market opportunity. This is a developing story that has profound implications for all of Kenoma.
Thank you for that report, George. A fascinating and troubling situation indeed.